And then there's the whole side of the internet that thinks I'm a lesbian.
Yeah.
Were you going to go there? Did you have this written down?
That was a question that I had.
For years, Kendall Jenner has been the quiet one in a very loud family. While others fed the headlines, she stayed silent as rumors about her body, her sexuality, and her personal life spiraled completely out of her control. Now, in a rare and carefully worded podcast interview, Kendall is responding, not with drama, but with explanations that feel measured. She denies the sexuality rumors that followed her for years. She downplays the plastic surgery speculation that many insist is obvious. And she explains why she chose not to correct the narrative sooner. But here's where it gets interesting. The answers Kendall gave don't exactly shut down the rumors. If anything, her explanations have made things worse. Because when someone who's been silent for this long finally speaks, the question isn't just what they say, it's what they still leave unsaid. And as we break down Kendall's own words, the timeline and the contradictions fans can't ignore, one thing becomes clear. This story isn't about rumors anymore. It's about control, perception, and why Kendall may have waited until now to step in front of it.
Like, I understand that like coming out is not an easy thing.
So one of the rumors Kendall finally confronted, and arguably the one that's followed her the longest, is the internet's fixation on her sexuality. But this didn't exactly come out of nowhere. You see, the speculation really took off around 2016 when Kendall's close friendship with Tyler, the creator, started drawing attention.
Didn't I tell you to stop filming me?
At the time, rumors were already swirling that the two were dating, fueled by photos of them out together, laughing and looking very comfortable in public. Kendall even acknowledged it herself, tweeting, "Apparently, we're dating." Tyler fired back with a response that sent the internet into overdrive. "Not possible, we're both gay." Whether it was a joke, sarcasm, or something else entirely, that single exchange cracked the door open. And once it was open, it never really closed. The rumor mill went into full spin after the two were photographed giggling their way into the Cheesecake Factory in West Hollywood, a moment that should have been forgettable, but somehow became evidence in the court of public opinion. Not long after that, Kendall was linked to $AP Rocky. She even brought him to her sister Kylie's 19th birthday at the Nice Guy, where the two were seen acting affectionate and slipping out the back together. But instead of putting the rumors to rest, it did the opposite. To a lot of people watching closely, Kendall and Rocky didn't look like a convincing couple, and that sparked a new theory that these relationships weren't about romance at all, but about redirecting attention. As Kendall's sisters dominated headlines with highly publicized, very visible relationships, Kendall's love life stayed noticeably quieter, more guarded, more controlled. Even her earliest high-profile link with Harry Styles back in 2013 followed the same pattern. The two were spotted on dates, looked close, and instantly became tabloid gold. Fans even gave them a ship name, Handle, but Kendall's team insisted they were just friends. The public didn't buy it then, and they didn't stop speculating after, because the question people kept circling back to wasn't who Kendall was dating, it was why her personal life always felt carefully out of reach. And that's exactly what Kendall is now trying to explain. But here's where the story takes a turn, because when Kendall finally addressed the rumors herself, it didn't land the way people expected. On the podcast, she didn't dance around it. Kendall flat out denied being gay.
Wait.
And then there's the whole side of the internet that thinks I'm a lesbian.
Yeah.
Were you going to go there? Did you have this written down?
That was a question that I had.
You want to know what really bothers me is how mean people are about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not with like a welcoming arm.
Totally.
Like, hey, like if you were like, yes, come join.
Yes,
like,
totally.
It's not kind. It's
Totally.
like very mean.
Totally.
It's very like, what the f?
However, instead of ending the conversation, her honesty actually reopened it. Kendall is not telling the truth. Sure, Kendall. Sure, LOL. Where public perception means everything to that family's entire existence. Look at how long it took your dad to come out. You be you, boo.
I'm convinced that Kendall Jenner is a lesbian, or at least bisexual. And my data driving this hypothesis is she got a lot of siblings, none of them are gay. That's statistically unlikely. I think she could be the one. 2, she gives tomboy energy. Like, I know that she's this supermodel, but I'm not convinced. 3, she dated Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, one of the most attractive men, in my opinion. However, big language barrier. I think as a lesbian, you would date a man that you didn't have to talk to.
To many people, what really stood out wasn't the denial. It was her reaction to how people responded to the rumor in the first place. Kendall admitted she was shocked by how harsh and unwelcoming the reaction had been. Not curious, not supportive, just judgmental. She explained that the speculation didn't come from a place of acceptance, but from criticism and ridicule, people questioning her life, her choices, and her timing in a way she described as mean-spirited and aggressive. And that, according to Kendall, is what hurt the most. At the same time, she made it clear that if she were a lesbian, she wouldn't feel the need to hide it. With the support of her family and inner circle, she said she'd have no issue being open about it, which only fueled more debate online. Because while Kendall insists she's not hiding anything, she also admitted she's not closing doors on life experiences either. And for the internet, that gray area was more than enough to keep the rumors alive.
Kendall Jenner is allegedly a lesbian, and this is not the first time we've heard these allegations. It was rumored that both of her relationships with Bad Bunny and Ben Simmons were fake, just to distract us from the fact that Kendall actually enjoys women's company more than men.
And just when it feels like that should have been the end of it, this story finds a whole new gear. Because Kendall didn't just address the sexuality rumors, she also went straight into the other topic the internet refuses to let go of: plastic surgery.
I've never had any plastic surgery on my face, nothing. I've never had any work done.
For years, people have accused Kendall of quietly transforming her face, lip fillers, nose tweaks, full-on facial reconstruction, all while insisting she's natural. And once again, Kendall pushed back. She denied having any major plastic surgery and instead broke down what she has actually done. According to her, the changes people obsess over come from corrective treatments, not cosmetic reinvention.
I'll see videos of me and a professional, a licensed doctors on Instagram or TikTok, and they're doing a breakdown of all the surgeries I've had and all the work I've had done and all these things, and I've seen them of other people too, of course.
I've never seen it.
Kendall explained that she struggled with acne scarring as a teenager and turned to microneedling and PRP injections, a procedure that uses your own blood to help regenerate skin. She also admitted to small targeted tweaks, a little PRP around her smile lines, some injections near her crow's feet, and after years of flat denials, she finally acknowledged something fans had long suspected: baby Botox.
I told you the only thing I've done twice, I've done baby Botox in my forehead. I didn't love it, and I don't love it, and I consider it sometimes, but then I'm like, my eyebrows are so straight and low to my eyes that I actually really enjoy the movement.
On paper, it sounded refreshingly honest, but online, that explanation didn't calm anyone down. Instead, it set off another wave of disbelief, because to a lot of people, Kendall's face looks too different for the changes she described, and that's where the skepticism really kicked in, because fans weren't just questioning Kendall anymore, they were questioning the entire Kardashian playbook. The idea that every sister has openly admitted to procedures except Kendall, that didn't sit right. And suddenly the conversation shifted from, did Kendall get work done, to something much bigger. Why is she lying about the lip fillers? What about your nose, Kendall? Yeah, right, that nose job, definitely a result of microneedling.
Fans got to work fast. This user said the concept of growing up and just a little bit of Botox in the forehead giving you a whole brand new face. Are we forgetting what family she was born into? I don't know, Kenny. The nose looks extremely different. You definitely had those eyebrows lifted, which is funny you mentioned the eyebrows in the podcast.
Now, part of the reason people don't believe Kendall is because of the family she comes from. The Kardashians don't just sell beauty, they sell plausible deniability. For years, they've had a pattern of denying visible changes until the internet backs them into a corner. Kim Kardashian once blamed dramatic body changes on weight gain, workouts, and corsets, before later admitting to Botox, while still sidestepping other procedures. Kylie Jenner spent years insisting her lips were just overlined with liner, only to eventually confirm fillers and a boob job after the transformation became impossible to explain away. Khloe Kardashian also denied facial work again and again, until relentless scrutiny forced her to acknowledge cosmetic procedures too. So when Kendall says, "I've barely done anything," people aren't just listening to her, they're listening to history. And that's where the skepticism comes from, because the real question isn't whether cosmetic enhancement exists, it clearly does. It's why deny it when your entire brand profits from unattainable beauty. That denial doesn't just protect an image, it rewrites reality. It teaches young people that bodies are supposed to snap back, lips are supposed to grow naturally, and faces are supposed to freeze in time, all without help. Scroll through social media and you'll see it everywhere. People who can't frown, can't wrinkle, can't age, and still swear they've done nothing. So when Kendall positions herself as the one Kardashian who somehow escaped the system, the public doesn't hear honesty. They hear branding, and that's what keeps this conversation alive, because there seems to be a growing frustration among Kendall's own fans with a beauty standard that's sold as effortless to them. But in reality, it's quietly being engineered behind the scenes.
Do you think celebrities should be honest about cosmetic work, or do they owe us absolutely nothing? It's really interesting to see the discourse between what Kendall's saying and the fact that she's not had anything done, and what people are actually seeing. Faces like Kendall Jenner set the global beauty standard. Should transparency be optional or part of the responsibility that comes with influence on this scale?
So where does that leave Kendall? On one hand, this was one of the most open and self-aware conversations she's had, directly addressing rumors about her sexuality, admitting to cosmetic tweaks, and trying to take control of a narrative that's followed her for years. On the other hand, instead of quieting the noise, the interview seems to have reignited it, exposing her to even more criticism, skepticism, and debate. Was this real transparency, or just another example of how impossible it is to be believed when your last name comes with so much baggage? Is the public being unfairly harsh, or are people reacting to years of mixed messaging from an industry that profits off illusion? And maybe the bigger question is this: when celebrities finally speak honestly, do we actually want the truth, or have we already decided what we want to believe? I'm curious where you land on this. Did Kendall clear the air, or did the interview make things worse? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Till next time, bye.